Tully was already over before his feud with Magnum TA, but I thought that feud put Tully over the top, and I thought that I Quit match was just legendary.
Oh, phenomenal. I mean, you look at the body of work that some of these guys have put in. I mean, I just spoke with Terry over the Christmas holidays, and that such a terrible, terrible accident to be in. He was just getting rolling. Speaking of a guy that was going to be the NWA champion, I think he had a good shot at it too.
Yep.
We were talking about DiBiase last week, but Terry Allen was right there in line, and Terry was fun to work with, had a great attitude, and boy, he paid the price to get into business too. He came down to train in Charlotte with Buzz Sawyer, and the Sheik was there, Khosrow was there then. They and Gene Anderson, they beat the shit out of Magnum. I think he almost quit twice, and he had actually wrestled at Old Dominion, so he was a pretty good amateur wrestler. But when you're breaking into business back in those days, man, we didn't care if a guy could sit out or do the Granby roll. You wanted to get into business, you got the shit beat out of you.
You were off almost 3 months to sell the injury to Terry. That's a long time for you. What was that? What did you do with yourself?
I don't think I was off. I think I was downtown Atlanta. I mean, I was working a little bit, but I was staying in Atlanta, and whatever work I was doing then, I don't know. Just, you know me, Mark, I can find something to do anywhere. I certainly
but
wasn't home.
you weren't on TV. You weren't on. It was a different time for you.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, you're talking about '89.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It was hard. I loved being on TV, but I understood the importance of what we thought we had, and ultimately it worked out great with the Clash of Champions and all that. And then we did the other thing with in Philadelphia. Well, that thing with Sting and I. I mean, it evolved into a hell of an angle, and it drew a lot of money.
We're going to talk about Steamboat at a later date, but when he was the family man in your feud, with his wife and kids, and you were the playboy with all the models, everyone rooted for you. I mean, how could they not see that was the fans were going to decide who had all the girls?
Well, that's one of the things that I've talked about with Ricky. I don't think Ricky had a choice. I think Bonnie kind of pushed that on him, which I've said. Not it's the first time I've ever made the comment. Bonnie wanted to be Miss Elizabeth more than Miss Elizabeth wanted to be Miss Elizabeth. So that's kind of an untold story. I put it in my book because I feel like she cost him, $10 million, which I've said publicly. But she guided his career, and he, Rick is such a good guy. I don't know whatever went on behind the scenes, but I think Rick would have preferred to. Not that he didn't like being with his son. It had nothing to do with his son, but I don't think he liked being portrayed, being that much under thumb, if that makes sense.
Now, you were off